this guy doesn't have trouble with the ladies, and I think they're both fighting against it a little bit. There's got to be an edge to a character. We're dancing together as well. We're in close, intimate proximity. It's all about the fulfillment internally. From the first guy that we met that's like, you know, I'm the man, to like, I'm not the man.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to share with you my chat with Daniel Lissing. I got to talk with him last night and several other podcasters about his upcoming movie on Hallmark Channel called Single on the 25th. It airs on Sunday night, December 7th, 8/7 Central on Hallmark. You can watch it the next day on Hallmark Plus. I think you're going to love this movie. The Daniel and Lindsay have amazing chemistry. There's some great humor in it, but there's a lot of heart. There's a really good message in this story. We get to just watch these two characters and how each of their lives impacts each other. It's something that I think you're really going to enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed this little chat with Daniel. This movie really focuses in on two neighbors who form this unexpected, friendly singles partnership. So, what do you think audiences are going to enjoy most about the connection between Nell and Cooper?
Yeah, you know, this is one of those scripts that I read that I love that it was just a little different in regards to the way that these two characters connect, right? So usually it's this meet cute, and there is kind of romance on the table for both of these people that meet in these movies. But what I liked about this aspect is that we've got a guy, my character, that is really, you know, I gave him a backstory that wasn't on the page that made him kind of like happy to and really content being on his own and realizing, hey, you know, I'm filling my cup up right now. You know, I don't really need or want a relationship. And you know, when he obviously there's attraction, and you know, my thing was this guy doesn't have trouble with the ladies, so you know, he's gonna, in his flirtatious, confident way, say, hey, you know, like, it's actually great being single. You know, it's super
Yeah.
fun. You don't actually need anyone. There's a lot of different ways to love and be loved outside of that intimate relationship. And you know, I can relate to that because I've felt like that through my life, and certainly through periods after relationships. I'm like, I'm so happy being single right now, and that's what the energy that I sort of came in. But obviously, as these two people spend more time together, um, you know, I don't want to give away the movie at the end of the movie, but there is a really sweet realization in the kind of, you know, what deep down in the core these characters really want, and I think they're both fighting against it a little bit for self-preservation.
So, this is not your first Christmas role. I'm curious, is there something that this role let you tap into that maybe you hadn't experienced before, or there's something looking back on the project that you were really excited to be a part of?
You know, I knew of Jonathan Wright before, and I knew of Lindsay before, and you know, I wanted to work with them anyway. So that was the first thing. The second thing was that it was a different kind of story. It was a different kind of script that allowed, you know, I don't want to say that Cooper was a bit of an ass, but he was, you know, a bit of an ass, a little bit. And I like that. I like that, you know, there's got to be an edge to a character that, you know, that I can dig into a little bit, and then I've got more journey to kind of go to that place of vulnerability and openness and whatever you know, we end up with. But yeah, I kind of liked his. I don't know if it translates. I did my best job, you know, that I could have at the moment, but you know, I hope it translates that, you know, when he's at work, he's a certain kind of like guy, and then when he's a little bit more loose and silly when he's with Nell. And so, you know, I liked that. I liked that there was different energies to kind of place into it. So yeah, that's what I really liked about this one.
It translated.
Okay, good.
Dan, you shared some we are getting the excitement that you experienced in this movie and how much you enjoyed making it. So I'm curious if there's a particular scene that you're really excited for fans to experience.
Yeah, you know, I love all those like you were talking about before, those kind of like unspoken moments when the relationship kind of develops. I love playing that stuff. I love those little moments. But I really like the scene where I take her to a college reunion mixer and we dance together and have a talk about, you know, she asked me why I'm still single, and I say I hate that question. You know, why
Yeah.
you ask me that? I always get asked that. You know, so that scene for me um, is the is the scene that really focuses in on what makes each of these characters tick. You know, like I think it's better like to kind of like, you know, be single, and if you want that, then that's just as good as, you know, being with someone, you know, or whatever, you know. So we get to see his point of view, we get to see her point of view, her internal, you know, questioning, and we get to see where these two are kind of like in opposition of each other in regards to the way they view relationship and romance. The energy of that scene is good because there's chemistry. She gets to him a little bit as well. And I think there's a lot going on. So I love that scene. We're dancing together as well. We're in close, intimate proximity, and the conversation matches that energy. Uh, and then the last scene, I can't help it. You know, I just think that there was a vulnerability to that scene with his character from the first guy that we met. That's like, you know, I'm the man, to like, I'm not the man. I'm crazy. I don't want to give it away. Sorry.
No.
But you know, I like, I think that's a, you know, beautiful moment.
Yeah. Good moments. Okay, odds are there are going to be individuals watching this movie who are actually spending Christmas alone. So, what do you hope this movie offers them?
That I don't believe anyone is. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep right now. Actually, I was going to say I don't believe anyone is truly ever really alone. Loneliness is one thing, and that's a real thing, and that's something too many people deal with. But to be alone, to be with oneself, um, you know, like I was saying before, uh, we so in acting, right? In acting, we make it too much about ourselves, and we don't worry about what's happening in the world around us. In acting, make it about them. When it comes to being alone, Chris, let's use this in a general term, alone whenever. I need that alone time to fill my cup, and I don't make it about what's happening externally. It's all about the fulfillment internally. And so once you're able to fill your cup with however that is, it's not about what I don't have out there or what's lacking here, this and that. Forget all that. The only thing that matters is filling your own cup internally. However you do that, however makes you the most happy and fulfilled within yourself. Then when you're in that place, if you decide that you want to share that with someone else, then you can, you know, put that full cup out into the world. But I think a lot of people, you know, look out into the world and use comparison, or um, come from a place of uh, want or lack, and it's not out there. Happiness doesn't lie out there. It lies in here. And so I know I'm getting deep now with this because it's an important thing, especially at the holidays. There are a lot of people out there that don't have the luxury, the benefits of spending it with other people, with family, with a loved one, with a romantic partner, whatever that is, you know. I remember when I first came here, I was alone. I wasn't lonely, but I was alone for my first few Christmases here when I was in the States, or holidays, and everyone was with their families, and I was just sort of sitting at home twiddling my thumbs. And I was like, all right, what can I do to kind of like, you know, make myself feel a little bit better about myself? Yeah, that's all I'll say. It's just fill your cup and then let your light shine, and then go out there in the world. You know, I with questions like this, I get a little deep, but also I realize that I'm only coming from the perspective of a 40-year-old man from Australia who, you know, has an acting career and a wife sitting in the other room. So my perspective is very different from the people that might be listening to this. And so what do I know, really? I mean, honestly,
No,
that's
but I
my
think
advice. But
that's so
I-
important, and there are people that need that wisdom and experience that. So, I mean, so important.
yeah.